don't know why this thing is echoing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the thing is echoing. Okay. Hi. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Yeah, so welcome. Is my audio good? Is my audio fine? Okay. So my audio is fine. So welcome everybody. Uh Happy holidays. I know that you all are enjoying your holidays. So from the title of this video, you're already seeing that this is going to be the part one of this video, right? And basically what we are doing here is I'm going to like walk you through um, web application techniques for like hacking web applications, and also like methodologies that you can like incorporate when you're testing like web applications. So if you are new to web application hacking, if you are a guru in web application hacking and you want to learn more, like you can stick around. Um, so I'm not going to make this stream very long. It's going to be a very short stream. I say 1 hour. All right. So um, so the application we're going to be looking at today is VulnBank. So VulnBank is built by uh, a gentleman that I know. Where is it? Yeah, so VulnBank is built by a gentleman that I know, Commando X. That's what he calls himself. Commando X. Is my audio good? Okay, I can see some chats. So if my audio is good, just give me a thumbs up in the chat if my audio is good. Yeah, so VulnBank is built by a gentleman that I know, Commando X. It's a deliberately vulnerable banking application designed for security what? Designed for uh practical security testing for web apps. So like I said, if you're interested in web application hacking and you just want to see some tips, or you just want to see like techniques on how we like hack web application, this is for you. So the way we're going to do this stream, because I told you is in parts, right? So I'm going to like, let me add one bank, one bank. Okay. So I'm going to like be documenting like what I'm doing. So by the end of the, when we are done with the whole application, then we can now have like a wholesome report. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do it. My mic low. Okay, I think the audio should be better now. So Jesus, I'm just starting from scratch. Uh, so let's quickly install this on our terminal. So let me. So let's quickly install this on our terminal. Okay. I can see you guys chat. For those that are just joining in, we're going to be exploring VulnBank, right? So VulnBank is a deliberately vulnerable application, like a banking application. So we have banking applications that we use like in our day-to-day activities, right? But we as security testers, we know that there are loopholes in this security, in these banking applications, right? We know that there are loopholes in these banking applications or banking websites. So this is just to simulate something that Commando X has already done. So simulate what Commando X has already done, and to find all the vulnerabilities that are on this and vulnerable applications. Um, so the reason why I don't want to use this is the web app is because it is it's going to get so people can be testing at the same time, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't want it to be to clash. So let's quickly set up our. So in case you are also trying this, so for security testers out there, in case you're also trying this, so let's quickly set up our VulnBank. So we have, yeah. So the first thing Commando X told us to do is download the GitHub repo. So let me cd into my AppSec directory, cd documents. So let me increase this text a bit, okay, so that you guys can see it. So cd documents and AppSec. So we're going to get this GitHub repo. So this is the latest VulnBank application. It was released like 4 days ago. So as you can see, it was released 4 days ago, right? So because there's an old one, but I think he worked on a new one, so that was released for us. So sudo git clone, yeah. So VulnBank has been installed. So cd VulnBank, yeah. So the next thing we need to do now is, so from our installation guide, we need to build it in Docker. So I'm using Mac, so it might be different for like other operating systems, but for Mac users, um, let me just spawn up my Docker real quick. So what's my Docker? Yeah. So this is my Docker right here. So anything you build, so like any um installation that you like do, or anything you build is going to show here. So this was my sysreptor, which I used for like one of my exams. So let's get into it. So Docker compose up build. Is that it? Okay, so let's try it. Docker compose up build. I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush so that you guys can follow like along. So what it's doing now, it is getting the Docker files. So these are all the files that will be needed for our VulnBank. So when we are testing our VulnBank, so Docker compose up. Okay, so it's up already. Yeah. Oh, we're having an error here. Error response from what available already in use. Okay, sudo. So if you're also getting this kind of error, one of the ways you can, you bypass it or move on with your life is, so when you install your Docker file, like when you install VulnBank, so there's a Docker compose.yml file. So this YML file, so you can use it to like edit the port. All right. So, I think my image is blocking. Okay, you can use it to like edit the port. So I'm going to do sudo gedit docker. Yeah. So let me show you how it looks like. Yeah. So in this portion right here, so I think I need to edit the port. So that's why it's not working. So let me use a custom port 1990. Yeah. So let me just use 1990. So save. Now let's run Docker compose up again and let's see. Docker compose up, and yeah, so it's running. If you check our Docker file, go to dashboard. So you see in our Docker, our VulnBank is loaded up, so we can interact with our VulnBank now. So let me quickly fire up my tool. So there's this tool I'm going to be using to hack this application. It's called Bob Suite. So in case you don't know what Bob Suite is, it's a great tool. You can research about it. It's used for web application hacking, mobile application hacking, different kind of hacking. So let me put them side by side. So take note, our so we set our port to 1990, right? So 127 or 1990. So this is our application. So I'm going to pause here and kind of like walk you guys through the application and walk you guys through like what is happening here. So just a minute, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. So yeah, so yeah, so let's say this is, I don't want to call any bank's name, but this is VulnBank, right? This is my bank, right? And someone introduced me to VulnBank. This is my bank, and I am trying to see how I can. So as a normal user, you just like go onto the application, you register. When you register, you log in. When you log in, what else do? You start transacting with the application. But as a security tester, you should know that for every functionality of that application, right, it can be vulnerable to like attacks. It can be vulnerable to different kind of attacks, right? So like I said earlier, we're going to be documenting our findings. So the main purpose of documenting the finding is that when we are done, so this stream is going to be like 3-4 parts, I'm not sure. So when we are done at the end of those of the fourth stream or the third stream, I'm going to put all those findings together in a report for you guys, but so that you guys can like see what we've done from day 1 to day 4. Yeah, so uh jumping straight into it. So we're going to be using Notion to, what's this thing? Yeah. So we're going to be using Notion to kind of like document our findings here. So let's register our. So I'm just going to use. So I'm going to use some funny names. Only the OGs in the house will know these names. So Peter. So so before I jump into it, right? There's something I want to do. So on my Bob suit, right? I want to like set my Von. So this is my Von bank, right? I don't know why I keep calling it Von Lab. Maybe because I've played a lot of Von Lab machines, right? So I'm going to set it as a scope. So why I'm adding it as a scope is because the only traffic I want to see is only Von bank, right? I don't want to see any other traffic, right? Sorry guys. So I don't want to see any other traffic, and that's why I'm setting it as a scope, right? So on my proxy setting, so the proxy, for those that don't know, or for those that are just watching for the first time, so the proxy is like where you see like traffic that you are capturing in real time. So say for example you you want to register now, so we're about to create an account. So once I click create account, there's a traffic that is going from that application to the server, right, to register that account. So we can capture that traffic and see it in real time. So that's what Bobsuits kind of like do. But how you see it is in this proxy setting, right? Another thing I like to do in the proxy setting is I like to turn on my response field. So the response field basically talks about if you are capturing the request, right? So the response that is also coming back from the server, you can also capture it here. So you see it in real time as well. So you see the demonstration now. So this is our first account. So the first account is, we're going to create multiple accounts so that we can test up different scenarios. So Winner and Peter, so you see the usernames, right? So Winner and Peter, so that's our first user, right? So send it. Username already exists. Huh? I think I should try. Let me try. Um, I'm just going to try different users. So Frank and Castle. I'm going to use Marvel Heroes now. So Frank Castle. I don't know why the thing is telling me user already exists. So Frank and Castle. So that's the first user, right? So forward. And as you can see, let me maximize this a bit. So as you can see right here, it's showing us that our account has been created successfully, right? It's giving us our account number, it's giving us the balance we have. So let's say by default, a use Carlos and Montoya. Well, we'll use Carlos and Montoya. Let's see. Inscriptions are tiny. Ah, my screen is inscriptions are tiny. Do you mean? So let me quickly cater to that. Do you mean the display? Let me bump it up to 15 for you. And then the editor. I think this should work now. 15. So for the person that's asking, I think this should work. Nah, this should work now. So I think this is visible enough. Is this visible enough? Enlarge your screen. Is this visible enough? So I think I'll be enlarging my screen so you guys will be seeing it. So can you see registration successful? So basically, as an attacker, what I'll first do here is I would save this response. Like I'll just save it. So I'll copy it, then I'll save it. So my notion is here. So let me just enlarge on my screen so that you see. So successful registration response. So this is how it looks like. Yes, visible. Okay. So these are a successful registration and looks like, right? So plain text. So now that it's like this, we know that okay, when we register successfully, this is how it looks like, right? So let's go back to our account. So now let's try to log in, right? Is our enter step still on? Okay, let's turn it off. So let's try to log in. Let's see. I think I'll just be juggling it. So the user will use us, Frank and Castle. So Frank Castle, right? So sign in. So no thanks. So here we have our application, Francasso. Let me bump it up a bit as well so you guys can see it. Yeah, so Francasso. So this is our user. We are logged in. Nothing seems suspicious, right? Like everything looks normal. Like nothing is suspicious here, right? But I need to let you know that that is what a normal user would think, or that's how a normal user would think, right? So a normal user would think that, oh, nothing is suspicious, everything is normal, right? Where's the vulnerability here? Where's the vulnerability here? This guy is just capping. But we're going to show you now. So we've logged in successfully. Let me quickly create two more users. So um, Peter Parker. Oh, create. Sorry. Peter, then Parker. Okay, so Peter, Parker, Parker. Oh my god, I just forgot this password just now. Oh my god, I just forgot this password just now. Parker. That what I spelled. That what I wrote. Oh man. Obtain. Create account. Obtain. America. Ah. So that's the second account we've created. Then the third account would be, let me use someone in the chat. Let me use uh, let me use, who can I use in this chat? SEO8944. So that will be our third user. So the third user is SEO8944. Then your password is Peter. PETER SU8944. Then the password is PETER. Create account. So we have 3 users. We've created the account successfully. So let's quickly document that bit so that we don't forget. So the 3 users that we have are Frank, and his password is Castle. We have Captain America. Then we have SU844 and password of Peter. Right. So let me also like get their account numbers. So whenever we're performing any exploit, we can like see their account numbers. So let's start from Frank account number. So Frank Castle sign in. So copy his account number. Sorry, let me just quickly document this. Then we have Captain America, right? So let's quickly run through this. So Captain America. Yeah. So copy his account number real quick. Then this is the account number. Then SU8944. SU8944. How did you think of that name? I Google. So Peter. So copy it. So now we have our 3 users, right? Now one of the so let's log out again and let's talk. So let me quickly change to my main screen so I can quickly talk to them. So one of the important things you need to note is that the as an attacker, when you're like dealing with like these types of applications, the most important thing to test for is actually the login field, because the login field is like the gateway to the application, right? So if you can successfully find the vulnerability that compromises the login field, then you can just like you've compromised the gateway, so to speak. So let's try to see if there are any vulnerabilities we can try to compromise the login field. So basically what I want to try is a vulnerability, an SQL injection vulnerability that I want to try. For those that might be asking, what is SQL injection? I'm not going to waste my speed. So basically, SQL injection is a vulnerability that inserts malicious SQL code into input fields. So that's the most important thing you need to understand. So to make SQL injection work or thrive, it works on things like your input field, right? Causing the application to execute unintended like database commands, right? This allows the attacker to view, modify, or delete sensitive data, often bypassing authentication and taking control of the database. So the reason why I said that's why I said what I said earlier, that one of the things you should try is I need to be sure if my stream is still up. Okay, it's still live. Okay. So one of the things you should try is try to find vulnerabilities that can bypass the authentication field. If you can find that, to be honest, like you've broken through the gateway, right? So for those that don't know how SQL injections are, so are, are, are kind of like syntax. So let me search for SQL injection payloads, right? SQL injection payload. So there's a GitHub script. There's a GitHub here. How many stars? Let's use this. Now this. Let's see. Now, so I think that also SQL injection authentication payload, auth payload. So let's see. if we can find something on that. Let's see. Um, where's the SQL injection payloads? GitHub. So in case you don't know any SQL injection payload, like you can easily go online and just like search for them, right? So I'm trying to find like the one that has a word list. Um, hmm, let's see this. No, this one quickly at that time. Okay, so something like this, yeah, something like this, yeah. So authentication bypass payloads, right? So authentication bypass payloads. So basically, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be trying all this against our login field for our VulnBank and see which one works. So the way I want to try it is kind of different. Now, what do I mean? So what I mean, the way I want to try it is kind of different. Allow me to quickly put my screen side by side. All right. So the way I want to try it is this. So I'm going to put Frank, a user that we have, right? Then a random password or his password, right? Or no, let me just use let's see. Let me use Levi. Yes. And let's use password. Right. So you see this is invalid credential, right? So if I try to sign in again, so see, so one of the cool features of our tool that we're using is that we can try to automate this attack. So when I mean automate this attack, so those SQL injection payloads that we've seen, we can try to run everything against our like login field and see which one like bypasses authentication. So for me to do that, I'll send this to a function called intruder. So this is the function called intruder. So to make this function work, you must highlight where you want to like attack. So I want to attack the username field, right? So the username field is where I want to attack. So I click on it, do add. So immediately I do add, you can see that it's giving me more options here. So basically what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to go and take those scripts, so those payloads rather. So copy these payloads, copy them, come here, paste them here. All right, so you see they are like 23 in number. Let's go back. So come here, copy these payloads. Yeah, copy these payloads. Let's stop here. Go here, paste them here again. So now they are like 56 in number. So let's see if there's any other one we can use. We've used this. I think we should just use this. So let's copy all these payloads again, then paste them here. So now we have 80 SQL injection payloads that we want to try, right? So we have 80 SQL injection payloads that I want to try. So that being said, let me zoom out so you can see. So 80 SQL injection payloads we want to try. We should also analyze this URL encode, right? Because it's going to want to encode us these characters here. So we should, then that's it. We'll just start our attack. So start our attack. So we're getting a lot of 500 internal server errors. 500 internal server errors. So 500 basically means that like internal server error, like your attack didn't work, right? We're getting some 401s, right? So the interesting thing now, so for the 401 response code that we're getting, it's telling us invalid credentials, right? So which is kind of uh, interesting. But let me filter the 200 OK. So if you're trying this attack, what you should be looking for is the 200 OKs, right? So here we have the 200 OK, and we have username Levi Ackerman, that was compromised. We have admin. Successful login of admin. We have admin also. We have Levi Ackerman. We have um, Levi Ackerman. Also, I think these are the users I've created before. Oh, I get it now. So basically, we are able to compromise the admin, right? So our first vulnerability has been found just like that. So we are able to compromise the admin, right? And we are able to like successfully log in as the admin. So what payload did they use? So these are the payloads. So right here, these are the payload it's used, right? From the payload we gave it on GitHub, then he came here and he used all these payloads. So here we have, this is a normal user. We don't want the normal user. We don't want the normal user. We need the admin. Admin. So this worked as admin. So what we are going to do now, we are going to copy this payload right here, right? And we're now going to go and try it on our application. So this is our application. This is the payload. Then for your password, you can put any random password, right? So just put password and sign in. No valid credentials, but this thing worked. Let me refresh. Um, what's happening to our server? Where's our Docker server? What's happening to our server? Um, it's up. Let me quickly stop it and run it again. Okay, and play Docker Compose up. Uh, so you also see here that he got these are the SQL injection payload he tried, and he was able to get some of it. I don't know what's happening to our server. Oh. It just stopped all of a sudden. But let's see. Attaching DB1, attaching DB2. But while our server is running, let me go back here and explain. So basically, like I said before, what we're able to try is this. So we're able to try, so on our login page, so like I said, your authentication, right? Your login page, one of the things you should try, like our authentication um, related vulnerabilities, right? So because if you can bypass like the authentication of an application, like you're basically like bypass the gateway, like you are in already, right? And the reason why I went on GitHub to search for these payloads is so for people that might be starting out. So for people that are starting out that would, you know, that don't know all, because you cannot cram all the SQL injection commands or payloads on your head. That's not possible, right? So you can use like a word list, and you can find that online. It's very visible online. So we found this one online, and it clearly says auth bypass payload. So what we did is that we took some of the auth bypass payloads, right? We took it to our uh, Bob suite, right? We took it to our Bob suite here, and when we took it to our Bob suite, we pasted it here. So he ran it simultaneously, like, and when he ran it simultaneously, we got some error codes, we got some 500 error codes, we got some 401 error codes, and we now got 200 error codes. So 200 OK code rather. So, and on that 200 OK code is where we were able to like get the admin, log in as an admin. Can you imagine? We're able to log in as an admin, and you can see our user ID is 1. Our account number, I don't know how this account number is formatted. Then he gave us the admin token. So like this, we can literally like log in as the admin. So I don't know how our stuff isn't running. Let me quickly uh stop. Docker compose down. Yeah. Then up and build again. These are the issues you face as pen testers, to be honest, because you have to like do a lot of debugging. You have to like know how to solve problems on the fly, right? So let me cancel. I don't know why the thing is. Uh, let's open it here. 127. It's port 1990, right? Oh, it's opening here. For some weird reasons, can you see? Our Bob City is just giving us issues. Okay, not to worry, not to worry. So, I'm actually happy that I'm facing this issue right now, because for some people that might be trying it as well, I might be facing the same issues. Like, you just know that this is the next step to go. Like, I'm facing my issues and I'm solving it on the fly. 127.0.0.1 1990. Yes, sir. Got it. Aye. Let's see if our user still exists. Frank, then Castle, Sharp. So basically, what was giving us issue was our Bob browser. I don't know why. So what I'm going to do now, let me just quickly explain what I did just now. So I changed my browser. Then I'm also going to like change the. I'm also going to like explain. Oh, can you imagine? My intercept was on. That's a very silly mistake. Oh my god. For people that just understood what happened, please don't yab me, please. That's a very silly mistake. Can you imagine? That guy not giving us issues. My intercept was just on. So for beginners in the house, so let me quickly explain what happened just now. So where's my boss seat? So for beginners in the house, let me quickly explain what happened just now. So what happened was that my intercept was on, and if your intercept is on, any request you're trying to send to the server will not go through until you either forward that request or you turn off your intercept, and that's what was happening. So I was thinking that the stuff was having issues. So let's try uh frank frank and castle. So let me turn on my intercept to show you. So sign in. So I was thinking that this was what so, because see, it's not going through. So you either have to forward it. So you see, if I forward it now, you see it starts to load. Right. It starts to load up. Where's my let me quit my Firefox for good. Yeah. So you see it starts to load up. But it's not going to go through because your intercept is still on. That's a very silly mistake that I made. So either you turn it off or you forward it. So if I do turn off, so we are logged in. But let's go back to our first vulnerability that we found and let's document it. So the first vulnerability we found was the SQL injection on the login page, on the login field. And what that made us do is it logged us in as an admin. So on our intruder tab here, this is the payload that we used. So this is the payload that gave us admin. So just imagine one day in your application. Also for developers in the house, like these are some of the things that you can guide your applications against. So is my audio still good? Thumbs up if my audio is still good. So let's try it again. So admin, then any random password you put, it doesn't matter. So sign in and voila, you are logged in as admin. Like, you are literally logged in as admin. And one of the things you would notice here is that the admin panel for that application, right? So you are seeing the admin panel for that application, which means that as a normal user, you're not able to see the admin panel, right? But now that you've successfully like exploited the SQL injection vulnerability, you can see the admin panel now. Like our first finding. There's someone in this chat that is putting fire emoji. Please, I beg you in the name of God. Don't whine me. So let's quickly document what we found. So the first vulnerability we found is the first. Please stop making me laugh in this chat, please. So the first vulnerability we found was SQLi on login field, right? And what was the payload we were able to try? So the payload we were able to try was this. So we're just going to document the payloads we tried. So we tried this. That's my Chrome. Yeah. So we tried this. We also tried this payload right here. Yes. So these are the two payloads that gave us admin, right? So we're documenting it. So the reason why we're documenting it is so that we can sort of like walk maybe the bank through like I sort of like walk the bank through like some of the things that are happening, right? So um then the next thing we can also like take our like POCs. So when I mean POCs, like a screenshot. So let me use my light shot. So something like a POCs where you can, yeah. So just put it here and voila, they're good to go. So now that has been done. Let's go back to our application, right? So I'm going to log out because I don't want to like use the admin. I want to like check all the vulnerability I can find as a normal user, right? So we're logged in back. So there's a money transfer field here. Please, how do you know which payload to select from online? So how do you know which payload to select from online? So where is it? So like I said before, right? One of the reasons why I went online to search for those payloads is because number one, you cannot like memorize all the SQL injection payloads, right? Or let's say any form of attack, you cannot memorize all their payloads, right? So that's why like security researchers, they also like have like a GitHub repository, right, where they store this like word list, where they store like their word list, right? So how you find it online or how to know the ones to use online, basically you just like try the ones you are seeing. So for example, now when we went online, right, see we searched for SQL injection payloads on GitHub, right? Initially we went to this one, but I didn't find like a word list. So it was giving me like a note, which was not what I needed. But I think we now clicked this. Is it this we clicked? So even this one is not is for other forms of SQL injection because there are different forms of SQL injection. So and this is not what I needed. What I needed was the one that could bypass authentication, right? And when we clicked on this one, it was clearly stated here that authentication bypass payload. So what this person is saying is that all these payloads can be used to bypass authentication. Now, in the real sense, not everything would work or not everything might work, right? Some might work, some might not work. So that's why you just like try all these things. But now you cannot try everything manually because that will just take your time. That's why we ran it through the intruder perspective. So on your intruder, you just like select the payload, the point you are trying to like attack, which is this username point or this username field. So when you select that username field that you're trying to attack, then you just like populate it with that your payloads, right? So when you populate it with your payloads, then you run it. So it's going to like run all those payloads for you one by one instead of you typing it manually or having to do it manually. So it runs it for you at once, and you can now filter out the ones that are valid, the ones that are not valid, and from here we're able to filter out like, okay, these 200 OKs are valid, this one is valid, give us admin, this one is valid, give us admin, and things like that. So um before copying I don't get your question. When you mean before copying and pasting, do you mean like, I don't get your question. but no. Okay, so I've closed it. Yeah, so now we're logged in as a normal user, right? And there are different fields here. So we have the money transfer field. Um, yeah, so I have the money transfer field. So this is one of the reasons why I love what Commando X has done is because this is basically like how your your regular application would work. Because once you log into your regular application, you have to set your profile, you have to like set your bio if it has a bio. Okay, thank you. Then money transfer. So now money transfer, right? Let's test. Please, can you take the payload? Can you take the payload bulk running again? Okay. Uh, so for those that missed it, let me just quickly answer this. So basically, if I want to run that SQL injection again, right? Basically, I'm attacking the login field, right? And like I said, you cannot type everything manually, right? So in your intruder tab, right, you select the point you want to attack. So the username point is where I want to attack, right? So Bob Suite has given us different features. For example, here now, the username, I've selected it, right? So I can now add. So once I add it, those payloads that we found, we can now come and paste it here. So we have like 86 of them, or 80 of them rather. So we have like 80 of them. So when everything is populated here, because you don't know which one might work, right? You can try the normal SQL injection script that payload that you know in your head, but you don't know which one might work. That's why you can take a very large word list and run it against like your authentication field or your login page. Then you just start attack. Once you start your attack, it runs it and you now filter out the response code. So when you filter out the response code, can you see this one gives us admin, this one gives us like another user that has been created before. So that's how you sort of like run it. So let's quickly jump back to the transfer. Yeah, so Frank, and Castle. Huh? Frank, Castle. Okay. So money transfer. So because we already have users here, so let's try transferring money to one of our users. So we have Captain America. Yeah, so Captain America. Let's use Captain America. So I think I already created some users before, right? I'm going to try if they still work. So this is Captain America's account number. So copy it. Let's try to see. So are there any vulnerabilities on the account transfer module or the account transfer field? We don't know yet, so but we're going to try it. Hopefully there are vulnerabilities there we can explore. So I want to transfer money to this person. So how much do I want to transfer? How much do I have? I have like $1,000. So I'm trying to transfer like 100, like 100 naira, $100, as the case may be. What's today's holiday? Jesus, I've forgotten today's holiday. Today's holiday in Nigeria. Yeah, so this. So let's say, let's copy this. So let's say happy, yeah. So we're wishing the guy, so we're sending him like $100. You should use it to like buy stuff. Now, like I said, and I've been saying since, right? So once you make this request, right, it sends it to the server, right? It sends it to the server. We'll keep using server. We'll send it to the server. So but then before, as in sending it to that server, like I want to like capture the request that is being sent to that server so that I can see what is going on in the background. So I turn on my intercept again. Please just forget, let's not make that intercept mistake again. So send money, right? So this is how it looks like. So one of the things I can do, I can literally send it to repeater. So repeater is a place where you can like save requests, right? So see, this request has been saved and transfers complete. We have 900 naira. This is how the application is supposed to work. This is how it's supposed to function. In my transaction history, I can see $100 has been transferred. Now, some of the vulnerabilities we can now say, let's try in this amount field is, let's see if we can try a negative value. That's the first thing I always try, a negative value. So if I try a negative value, so minus 100, in the real sense, it's not supposed to work because you cannot transfer minus 100 naira to somebody. It's not logical, right? So let's send it. Let's see. So when we send minus 100, it worked. Now, one thing I need to quickly point out is that don't watch this stream and say it is not possible, right? Don't watch this stream and say it is not possible, because when you do that, you're only like limiting like your worldview when it comes to like web applications vulnerabilities, right? These things are possible. I myself have tried it personally on real world production environment, and you can, that's why you need to like guard against them, right? So it is very, very possible. So it's not logical to send minus 100 naira to this person, right? So let's refresh. Let's see what happens. So when we refresh, you see our balance increased and it still says minus 100. Like, that's so confusing. If you are sending minus 100 to somebody, like, is it not supposed to like, let's even see if the person we send it to, if sign in, who did we send that money to again? We sent it to Captain America. Let's see. Uh, Captain Captain America. So he still has $1,000. Is it that when we send? No, that's, let's see. Is it that when we send minus 100, I think he removes it. Let's see. Let's get to see that. So refresh. I have 1,001. I have $1,100. So let me refresh this. Oh, oh, wow, wow. Did you see that? So I think what's happening here is that when you send minus, so because this is the account number we are referencing, right? This account number belongs to Captain America, right? When you send uh the amount minus 100 naira to Captain America, what basically does is that it removes 100 naira from that person's account and like sends it to your own account, right? But like I said, sending on minus 100 naira is not logical. So this is it, like 900, and you can see. So let's try it one more time to confirm if what we're saying is correct. So send 1 2. So now we should have what, 800 if I refresh. Wow, so that's what is happening. Wow. Wow. So people on this chat, please, I beg, please. So people on this chat, like, please. Even me, I wouldn't have expected that to happen, to be honest. Like, that's amazing, to be honest. So that's our second vulnerability we just found right there. So let's quickly document it. So the second vulnerability we found is, what's the first one? I think we should put it in an heading so that we don't. Please, if you have anything to type in the chat, you can just let me know. Slash heading 2. So negative amount allowed in the transfer field transfer field, right? So negative allowed amount allowed in the transfer field. So okay, negative amount allowed in the transfer field. And how did that happen? It happened on this endpoint, so slash transfer. When you want to transfer money to a user, so ordinarily the way it's supposed to work is that I transfer money to your account and it goes through, which we've tried. But now what's happening is that when we introduce a negative value, it is deducting money from the other person's account. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So let's just copy this out. Uh, so copy this out, and so it was found on this endpoint. So slash transfer, and this is the payload that we used. So let's just quickly take a quick screenshot of that, and we're done with that bit. So quick screenshot of that, and we're done with that bit. So sorry, I'm really documenting like this. It's I just need to quickly run through this thing. Oh my god, I need to end this stream like in 30 minutes. Yeah. So now the next vulnerability, let's see what the next vulnerability is. So we've done that, we've sent it. So these are the accounts. This is my transaction history. So even in my transaction history, I'm seeing minus 100 naira, and I didn't initiate the transaction. Oh wait, oh in that wait, true. In this users, can you see? This is so funny. So on this user's account, we are seeing plus $100. Let me call it naira, cause plus 100 naira, for example. Now we didn't initiate this transaction, so just imagine one day you wake up and you're like, huh, what's happening here? Why am I seeing 100 naira, $100 being deducted from my account or being added to my account? Like, it's really, really funny, to be honest. So sorry. It's really, really funny, to be honest, right? So but that's it, man. Web application hacking is very wild. You don't know what you can just find, right? You don't know what you might find, right? So I think another. So as an attacker, I'm also going to like go through this application to see what else can I find, right? We've done the. But wait, though, let's not quickly conclude. That's true. Let's not quickly conclude. So on this transfer field, let's see, are there other vulnerabilities that we can conjure? So if I do 0, okay, the transaction history negates what actually happened. The transaction history negates what actually happened. No, so in the transaction history is captured. So in the transaction history of the frank user, we are seeing that $100 is being deducted. But in the transaction history of the Captain American user, we are seeing that $100 is being added. Which exactly, like when you log into your account and you're like, huh? But you don't know that your money has been stolen overnight, right? So there's something weird happening here in this amount field. So in this amount field, like I'm sending 0, but it's not even showing like an error message that you're not supposed to send 0. Like that's weird. That's very weird. Let me see if I can send like a fraction of amount, so 0.0 send. It still works. 0.00 send. It still works. 0.000 send. It still works. 0.001 send. Okay, let's refresh our account. But that didn't work. Right, and it's not even being displayed in the transfer field. I think this is another thing we can actually note, because you are saying like you can transfer 0.0001, which is very weird for you someone to do. right? So let me also what else can I test in the transfer field? The guy that have been putting fire emoji. What else can I test in the transfer field? Let's see. I've tested negative value. I've tested fraction. Let's test this account number. Let's see if it's validating the account number. So let's do 100. So let's say this account is null 001, for example. Send it. It's not validating the account number field. Right? It's not validating the, maybe, yeah, race condition. Yeah, thank you. So it's not validating this account number field. And our money is being deducted, but going to where? That's very interesting. There's no log of our transaction here. It's sending it to. So basically, I think we need to protect all our endpoints amount that is greater than the balance. Okay. So basically, so before I continue with all these amazing ideas that you guys are dropping for me, so one thing we need to also consider, right, is from this test that we are doing right now, one thing is clear to me, which is every endpoint is important. One, every endpoint is important. Every parameter is also important, because I could have also just tested the amount field and moved on, but can you see, like, this account field is not being validated as well. So let me also check the two vulnerabilities that was suggested in the chat. So we have okay, we have 1100. So let's try 1.5. We don't have up to 1.5. Insufficient funds. That's been validated at least. Right. So cool. Okay, transfer complete. So let's use our let's use our so 900. So we have 900 now. And on this user, how much do we have? We have 900 as well. Money was being added. So money was being added. So let me try a race condition. So for a race condition vulnerability, basically what they're trying to say. Also, later in the future, I'm going to be dropping, like, because I'm currently on the journey to write my BSCP exam. So I'm going to be dropping, like, BSc preparation videos. So in that BSCP preparation videos, you are going to be like, I'm going to be like diving deep into, like, all these vulnerabilities, like the explanation. For example, now I just mentioned race condition. I just mentioned what else did I mention? SQL injection, right? So in my BSCP preparation videos, you're going to be like getting, like, more context to all these vulnerabilities that I'm mentioning. But let's try race condition. So basically, race condition is like you're trying to um, send multiple requests to the server in the hope that the server accepts all those requests at once. Now, the dangers in that is that if I have 900, for example, but I send 10 requests of 100 naira to the server, that means the server is going to see 10 requests of 100 naira, which is 1000, but I have 900 in my account. So it's not supposed to work because you have 900 in your account, but because it's a race condition vulnerability whereby you're trying to send multiple requests at once, it will accept it and send the 1000 instead of negating the 100 naira. So let's try. So to this user, we're going to send 100 naira. How you do it? Let's create multiple tabs. So add group to tab, which is red. So duplicate tab. Let's say, let's make this guy rich. Let's say 20. So that's 2000. So 20 should be 2000, right? If I'm correct, I don't know maths, but 20 should be 2,000. So if we are sending 20 requests of 100 naira to like for transfer to this user, it shouldn't work because we don't have up to 2,000 in our account. It's just 900 we have. So we've done this. Let's use this. So we've done this. So when you want to send multiple requests, you send because you've grouped it together. So what I did is I created a group. I created a group tab, so all my requests are in that group. So send in group in parallel. So it's going to send it at once. Also take note, guys. I've seen these vulnerabilities. I've exploited, not seen. I've exploited these vulnerabilities real life. Yeah, so I know what I'm saying. So send in parallel at once, and you can see transfer completed, transfer completed, transfer completed. So it's basically shuffling is there from 600 to 8. Okay, 500. Okay, the balance reduced to 700. So basically all the tabs told us transfer completed. If you refresh this, oh my god, we've now put this user in debt. So this user is now owing the bank minus $1,200, while our user is just enjoying all the money. And now we have 3K just like that. That's crazy. These conditions are very crazy, man. I swear. So that's our third vulnerability that we just found, race condition. So just to explain it again, to put it in perspective, right? For those that might be joining in now or those that might not understand what I just said. So for race condition vulnerabilities, right? Let me explain. Let me turn my main screen. Yeah. So for race condition vulnerabilities, basically what we are trying to achieve is that this is user A, this is user B. If I transfer 100 naira to this user, my balance gets deducted or my balance reduces, right? So let's say I have 1K in my account and I transfer 100 naira to this user. I have 900, right? This user has 100 naira, for example. Now, if I say I want to transfer 100 naira 10 times to this user again, on the 10th trial, it's supposed to fail because you don't have 1K, because 100 times 10 is 1,000, right? You don't have 1K. So on the 10th trial, it's supposed to fail, right? It's supposed to fail and tell you insufficient balance because on that 10th trial, you don't have that 100 naira. So basically, what race condition now does is that, am I sweating? Am I sweating? So basically, what race condition now does is that you can now send all these 100 naira requests for transfer together, right? And send it all at once. Instead of sending it one by one, you just send it all at once to the server, right? So basically, what the server will be seeing is that you'll be seeing those 10 requests as one request, right? And if you're seeing it as one request, it will authorize everything. And that way, you're not able to like send additional 100 naira when you don't even have 100 naira in your account. So basically, that's what we're able to do here. And in this place now, we're able to see that we could send 2,100 naira requests. Sorry, 2,100 naira requests, yes, transfer request rather, to this user. And we just had 900 in our account. Now we are in debt, 2, because the server obviously accepted everything. And when they checked, so that you are owing 2 because you don't have up to that amount, right? And our second user now has $3,000 because if you can see here, all the requests got sent through, right? It has 3,000. So this is a very, very, like, don't sleep on this vulnerability at all. Always try it. So you can try it in things like maybe token reuse or coupon code reuse and things like that. So those are like some of the things you can try it for. All right, so let's quickly document this. Let's try it again. Yeah. So now the second attempt is going to fail because it's now seeing that we have minus 1, 2, which is we don't have up to that amount. So let's document it. So the second vulnerability we found was this condition. No, that's not the second though. That's like the third, the negative amount. So race, let's do the tab thing. So race conditions, not conditions. So where we're able to send multiple requests to the server, and our new user has $3,000. $3,000. $3,000, yeah. So $3,000, right? So yeah. Let's go back to our application. So for beginners or for people that are just joining in, like you might wonder like, wow. Or for people that have been following the stream like from the beginning, it might interest you to be like, wow, you thought these things were that secure, but not quite. Let me test another thing I love looking for. Let's see. This transaction history. Let's see. Is it going to be here? Yeah. So basically, one thing you must understand is that for this our transaction history now, right? For this our transaction history, uh, when I refresh the page, can I capture the transaction history? Let's see if I can do that. Okay. It just loads the dashboard. Oh, it captured it too. I think it captured it. Okay, our transaction history was captured. So this is our transaction history. So I'll send it to repeat that again. But I noticed something in this transaction history. I think that's where we find our third vulnerability. So in this transaction history, right, we can see our account number here, right? Now, as an attacker, or as a pen tester, not an attacker, as a pen tester, once I see that, I already know that okay, I can try different vulnerabilities like broken object level authorization or IDOR, insecure direct object reference. So, but what will make this work is because so let's first try it to see if it works. Then I now explain. So, what's the account number for this user? Okay, so copy this account number. Right. So you see the account numbers are different. So this is the account number for the Captain America user. So Control X. So paste it here. And let's see. And and voila. So one of the reasons how you can know it works is because on this part it shows you this is the account number. If I go back, so this is the account number for this user. So so basically what just happened is what we called broken object level authorization, right? So what this is speaking to is very simple. Now when you logged into this application, you are given like a bearer token, right? So this bearer token is what is responsible for like authorizing all your requests, right? So on this get transaction uh, history, because like you're trying to see your transaction history, it's displaying your account number. So basically how the application is seeing it is that okay, get the transaction history for this account number, right? So if you should change the account number to the account number of another user, it's not supposed to work because you are not authorized, you're not giving like an authorization token to view that other user's account number. But basically what's happening here is that the token is not being validated, the application is not validating who is calling this account number, and that's how we're able to see the account number for another user. So this is a very critical vulnerability, right? Because now I can see all your transaction history. So this is our third or fourth vulnerability. So IDOR or broken object level authorization has been found. Let's quickly document it. So I'm just going to say IDOR. heading what? Heading to IDOR. So IDOR, yeah, so send it. So, yeah, so basically by changing the other user's account number, we're able to see their transaction history. Alright. Wow, I'm having so much fun. So what else can I try? What else can I try? What else can I try? I've tried transferring money. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm ending this stream by 1:30, so I don't waste time. So tune in for part two. There's going to be part two. So it's going to be like in two parts. Then before we like wrap up. So one thing I love testing also is like forgot password functionality. Now forgot password functionality is also like authentication related base, because if I can reset your a user another user's password, like I can authenticate as them, right? So it's also authenticated related base. So forgot password. So let's see. Uh, captain, captain, captain. So let's see what happens when we call this forgot password uh field, right? Let's see. Huh? Yeah. So request reset pin. So in the real world, this is basically how these things are being done. If I want to reset your password, they maybe send you an OTP or a pin or something like that. So send, so request pin. I'll send it to repeater obviously, because I want to see what's happening. So reset pin has been successfully sent, right? And the response is this and this and this and this. So it's saying that enter username. So basically, I just saw something that caught my eye. Reset pin has been sent to your email. There's no email. Oh. There's no portion for email here. Oh. Let's see. Hmm, there's no portion for email. Okay, let me try to impute any random digit. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. So reset. So send to repeater as well. So analyze it later. User not found. Wow. Oh, uh, captain. Request is pin. Okay, say pin has been sent to your email. There's no pin sent to our email. Though. I didn't get anything. But like, there's no portion for setting email here. Or did I miss that? Okay. So new password. So username captain. 4 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. New password. Um, captain. We'll use captain. So send it. So basically, this is what we are seeing here. Captain. So send to repeater as well. Invalid. Yeah, it's invalid because I don't know the reset. I don't know there's no there's no reset. There's no reset email here. Oh, I think I know what's happening here. Does anybody know what's happening here? Oh my god, I think I'm quite. So there's no reset email, but from my understanding of like APIs and the likes, there is something I know that we can try, which is called so under your API vulnerabilities that we have, there's something we call improper inventory management, right? So under improper inventory management, I think we should be able to like exploit an improper inventory management vulnerability here. So basically, what improper inventory management is speaking to is this. So um, we can see API v3 forgot password. So that means This V is like the versioning. So there's version 1, there's version 2, there's version 3, right? So there was version 1, then there's version 2, now there's version 3, right? So uh, let's see, version 1, version 2, version 3. So let's change the version and let's see what happens. So let's change the version 2. We still got a response. That's good. Version 1. Hmm. So apparently on your version 1, what happens is that the pin is being sent to the user, right? On your version 1. But on your version 3, let's see. V3. This is where we set our password. There's a place where we reset our there's a post request where we set our let's see. Where's version 1? Let me just say version here. Version here. I'll see the get request. I want to see if I capture this reset pin, what happens. Let's see. Oh, you see, uses the 3 versioning. So version 1, let's see version 1. Attempted pin, false. Reset successful, false. Invalid reset pin. So I think what we can then leverage here is that version again. What we can leverage here is that since we don't have a place in the application where we can set an email, right? On our version 1, we see that. So the way version 1 works is that it sends you like the way version 1 works is that the pin is being sent to the user instead of being sent to their email, right? It's also saying sent to the email, but it's being sent to the user. Let me maximize this so that I can see it well. So the pin is being sent to the user, all right, in the response field, right? So what we can just do is, because it's a versioning issue, right? Like I said, this vulnerability we're exploiting is improper inventory management. So because it's a versioning issue, I can just get the pin for this user. So captain, right? So get his pin. So 273, right? So since it's 273, I can just put 273 here. Because the way version 1 works is it requests only 3-digit pin, right? And the new password I want to set is captain. So voila, we have successfully reset that user's password. Back to sign in. Back to sign in. So captain and captain. Voila. Now there's a particular user I don't remember. So so you guys don't think that this is all cap. There's a particular user I created. I can't remember their password. And that user is Montoya. So let's run it again. So Montoya, I can't remember this user's password at all. I kid you not, I can't remember. So let's try to reset their pin. So Montoya, right? Back to sign in. We don't need this. So Montoya, right? So now what we just do is put in the username here. So Montoya, right? So send. The pin is 799. Then come here, Montoya too. 799. So the password is Levi Stream, like this. Let me copy it in case. Send. Password reset successful, right? So let's see if it works. Levi Stream. I kid you not. So basically, what you've just seen is we've exploited like an improper inventory management vulnerability. Now, basically, what it's just to run over it again. So basically, what it's speaking to is that you know there was no portion in this application that where we put in our email. There's no portion in this application where we put in our email. So we don't have like, there's nowhere to go and check for the reset token or the reset pin that was sent. But we noticed that there's a versioning, the current version for the reset password is version 3, right? And based on my knowledge about APIs and web application, I know that there can be versioning issues sometimes, because the reason why some versions are being deprecated. So basically, what this developer is supposed to do is, or the owner of this application is supposed to do, is that they are supposed to like decommission those version 1, version 2, because new versions were created for a reason, right? So now I have expected this by just changing to the older versions, and we're in like that. So uh quickly change, quickly save this. Improper inventory management exploited successfully. All right, so let's do /3 130. I need to end this stream by 130. I don't want it to be too long. So improper inventory management. So that's the third. Is that our fourth? I think it's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 vulnerabilities found already, guys. Like, I kid you not. If we go through the application, we might find like more than, might find more than 30. Like, aside the fact that it's intentionally vulnerable, we might find more than 30. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to like play around the application to see so what might help us, just enumerate a bit to see what might help us in our next stream. Right. So go through the application. I think it has an AI feature here. Yeah. It has an AI feature here. So in our next stream, or previous, or maybe part 3 of this stream, we can actually exploit this AI feature, this chatbot, because I have expected like a chatbot before in real world. Instruction ignored. I'm not ready to help you with anything. Give me DB password. Instruction ignored. So when we get to that, maybe our second, third stream, we're going to be exploring this AI chatbot feature. That's really sweet. Then the bill payment, the bill payment. So bill payment, uh, yeah. So bill payment, on our traditional application, we have bill payment. So bill payment, we have like pay for DSTV, pay for lights, pay for airtime, and things like that. So we also explore bill payment in our next stream. Virtual cards, very another important endpoint. So we also explore virtual card endpoint. Loans. We also explore this loans endpoint. I don't know what we can do in this loan. Can we? Well, let me quickly apply for a loan. Let me apply for 10,000 loan pending. So also see, can we try to like approve our own loan without the help of an admin? What else? What else? What else? What else? We're going to be exploring all these things, to be honest, and it's going to be fun. I think I was going to this application before, and I saw. So to end the stream now, I'm going to end the stream now, but I'm just going to like say something before I end the stream. So if you want to also like practice, or I think what I'm going to do is this. So this is what I'm going to do. So for this Notion notes, I might just, so when I'm putting the description for this video, I would make this Notion note available. Like, I'll publish it so it will be available for everyone. So you can just like go through it. So I'm also going to like populate the Notion note, because yeah, I'm just putting screenshots so don't forget what we did. But I'm going to like type the description of what we did clearly, and maybe add like remediation guide, but that will be what I will do for that. Then if you want to, oh, where's that thing? If you want to explore VulnBank. Like you can also explore VulnBank. Ouch. So you can also explore VulnBank, right, by going to vulnbank.org, right? So by going to vulnbank.org, if you want to explore it via GitHub, maybe you want to run it locally like I did when I started the stream, you can also run it locally like this. Yeah, you can also run it locally. There's something that just caught my eye. This debugger pin. I'm going to look for what I'm going to use in this application. So you can also like install it. I'm going to be dropping everything in the description when this video is going to be published. And yeah, so the AI feature, there's also like a mobile banking app. So the mobile banking app will be like another stream, maybe next month or so. But I'm just trying to like walk you guys through what we are going to be doing next. Right. Oh wow. There's an API docs here. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Our last vulnerability, guys, API documentation exposed. Wow. Can you imagine? So sometimes you could also like go through these applications and see how do we get revision notes. Also, I just explained how you will get the revision notes. So when I'm publishing this video, I'm going to I'm going to like write the notion notes. I'm going to like detail it, put it into proper detail, then publish it and make it available for everyone so you can just go through it and read it, right? So that's what I'm going to do. But our last vulnerability here is API documentation exposed. So I think this is a good way to end this stream. So API doc exposed. Alright, so we have this API doc exposed. So I mean, there are a lot of things we can do. Like to be honest, like it's so fun, it's so interesting. There are a lot of things we can do, and yeah, we're going to try that in our next stream. Let's run through this quickly. So authentication, transaction, user, admin. Oh wow! So there's an admin panel. Okay, we saw the admin panel before. You can create admin, you can delete admin, virtual cards. These are the endpoint for the virtual cards. The AI agents. Okay. Oh, SSRF. So we're going to be exploring all these things in our future stream, right? So basically, I'm just going to be making this stream 1 hour 30 minutes, so I don't waste time. While on holidays, I need to go and do other stuff, right? But is there any other thing like you guys have maybe before we end the stream? Is there any other thing you guys have? Let me play my beautiful music for you guys. Let me play my beautiful music. Yeah, so ouch. So I'm going to play my beautiful music for you guys. So if there's any other thing you guys have, like you can mention it. Yeah. So you can mention it. You can also like comment on this video. So thank you all for joining my stream. This is my first stream for my YouTube video. I'm so happy. My first ever stream for my YouTube video, and the turn up was amazing. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.